Good morning, James. Let me just begin with this.
Morning.
The scope of this investigation that the president's announced and the news that we're hearing last night. Where do the two dovetail as far as you know?
I think you need to take this in two different parts. First of all, I think the facts are that the United States security networks or internet networks are at risk, and they are certainly an unlocked door. They have been attacked, certainly with the Office of Personnel Management, with Target, with Home Depot, with now with the DNC hack that happened over the summer. So I think the fact is that our security networks are at risk. They are unlocked. They do need some security. The second part of this is the foreign policy impacts and, what exactly the U.S. should do once this report comes back from the Obama administration and is given to Congress. And so I think Congress has decided to step up in this case where they've been a little bit absent in terms of cybersecurity the last couple of years. And I think that given the election and the fact that it looks like it could be the Russians, that they are now putting a lot of pressure. And I think the Obama administration has said, okay, we've got a limited amount of time left here that we're in office, and so we're going to come back and we're going to issue a fact-based report and give that to Congress and see what they want to do next.
James, what will this investigation involve, and who will be involved?
So they're going to pull together a large group within the federal government, the Defense Department, the intelligence agencies, Department of Homeland Security, the State Department, some state and local officials, and they're going to come together and do essentially a national intelligence estimate and bring together what the facts they believe. And then it'll also not only have information on what signatures might be electronically, but also there'll be an effort to pull together human intelligence as well.
James, how much of this report should we expect to see released to the public?
So that's really going to be a negotiation, I think, between the U.S. Congress and the Obama administration. I think it's going to be incumbent on the Congress to try to release as much as possible, given the fact that this has gotten so much attention. There are international implications. This isn't the first time in our nation's history where we've had a quote-unquote October surprise, dating back all the way to Ronald Reagan and the Carter election back in 1980. I think that there was a lot of discussion about negotiation with the hostages, and so I think that the American people are looking for confidence. They're looking for Congress to step up, and I think that even Elijah Cummings just the other day said that, it would be malpractice for Congress not to really look into this and do more effort. So I think given the public hearings that they're already calling for in January, February, and March, we're going to learn quite a bit of information.
James, do you think it's possible there were more than hacks involved here, that voting systems, election systems may have actually been breached in some way?
Well, voting systems essentially aren't secure. When the voting systems were bought, they were bought really more for efficiency. And, at the state and local level, there really isn't a lot of security. It's not a requirement. It never has been. There isn't a lot of funding. So one of the things that Congress is going to have to look at, working with governors and working with state and locals, is how are they going to secure these networks? What kind of funding is going to be needed? I think remember, the state of Ohio called out the National Guard here for the election just in the closing weeks because they weren't really sure what to do to secure their network. So I think they're really going to have to take a look at things like that and figure out how to secure these things. And I think that'll be one of the issues that Congress is going to have to look in, and it should be in the report in terms of what the vulnerabilities are at that level, because we really don't have any security and we don't have anybody really looking at it either.
James, Norton, thanks for that.
Thank you for having me.